Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. A viewer on the right requested a full moon January 2020 reading, and she's gotten nice amounts of readings from me, and has even referred me to some of her clients as well, and some of her acquaintances as well. She learned a lot through the readings, which is why I always recommend this way, the Natal Chart, because it is your blueprint for life, and it has to be done by someone who really knows how to read Natal Charts. Otherwise, like I said, it's not real astrology if you're not doing it the right way that the universe gave it to you. So that's why I stress it so much. And the reason why I'm very concerned about this full moon is it is a portal opener, shift opener. A lot of things are going on. As I say, well, most people, they want to be able to see it, hear it, taste it, smell it, sound, some type of sound connection. A lot of times the universe just doesn't work that way. A lot of times you get confirmations by synchronicities, coincidences, just strange things, strange feelings, things like that. And you really have to learn how to tune into that. Because what happens with most people, they want that physical. And what usually happens with that is usually it's not lasting. It's kind of like loose conduct. Because you go from one feeling to just like an addict. That's why you see me compare a lot of this to drug addiction or alcoholism, because they just want that fix. They just want that hit, and then even when they get it, they're still not happy. So the universe has a way of teaching you patience and always promising you, this isn't over. You have a greater conclusion. But most people are just not gonna. They're not patient enough. They don't care about a promise or a so-called great conclusion. They want it now. So first thing I notice in these two charts is that little it's a form of a triangle. Now with the chart on the left, which is the full moon January 10th, 2020, 2:21 p.m. It's exactly 3:09 p.m. right now on a Tuesday in January, last Tuesday of January. And that's a big number for a family I was associated with in the 1980s. But with the chart on the left, that triangle is Pisces, Capricorn, Cancer. So we're looking at the mother already, because the mother is playing a major role with this female. And when you look at her chart, her version of a triangle is Capricorn, Virgo, and you can almost say Sagittarius, Scorpio. But if you notice, both times the point of that triangle, that's a version of a triangle, is pointing to the mother, the moon. And on her chart, her moon is associated with Lilith. Now, the chart on the left, we fully did. My clients have it, or my clients requested it. Her chart has been fully explained as far as the chart. But now it's kind of like an update, because it's obviously a moon message. And that's why I try to tell people. See, I'm already being confirmed. Why I love what I do. This is why I love what I do, and this is what I hate what I do. Because I can see it clearly, like 100%. But the people around me just can't. So you're always walking through a mist of disbelief and doubt. And every now and then you get to the joy of seeing somebody's eyes open. Because remember, She has three reading requests for me right now, and they're all about the mother. And there's mom right there, pointing right at her on both those charts. That's why I can't grasp how people continue to do bubblegum astrology, but that's because they like the five senses. And even if you're lying to them, or even they can get a little taste, a little bit of sex, a little something, they're happy with that little when the universe is offering so much more. Tapping into the mysteries of why you went through the hell you went through, the mysteries of why you're really here. This is what people should be tapping into. We recently, if you notice, a lot of important people died in January. We're not even out of January. We had so many important people die. But again, one of those cases, and nobody really talks about it. One of those cases was just an extreme need to satisfy self. And you can water it down and say, oh, well, it was love and, well, blah, blah, blah. But you have to understand, if you're charged with any position and your main project that you're charged with is the safety of a loved one, but you start to get in the habit of cutting corners and thinking you don't have to wait in a traffic jam, or you gotta enjoy the moment, and blah, 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 blah. And now you're gonna tell nature, you're gonna tell the supernatural, we don't care about none of that, we're gonna go for it anyway, even though everybody else is told to stand down, but somehow you think you're gonna go anyway. And that's the same attitude when you said, well, I'm gonna get this because I don't want to wait in the traffic jam. I want to enjoy the moment with so and so. So I'm not gonna wait in the traffic jam. I can afford it. Boom! I'm gonna fly above the traffic. So now you're getting more and more. You're getting more and more that you're unstoppable until you stop. And that's just fact. And it's sad, very very sad. I was sad when I first heard about it. I was angry when a young one died because of it. Very angry. You have to remember, the Blessed Mother always appears to the young ones, primarily young females. Our Lady of Fatima did it. Our Lady of Lourdes did it. And I just watched that movie just early this morning. Literally just got finished watching it. Our Lady of the Rose, I think, did it. Always appearing to a younger female. And after seeing Our Lady of Lourdes, then something else popped up from YouTube, so I clicked it, and it was about the Our Lady of Angels school in Boston, in Chicago, 1958, I believe. A terrible, terrible fire. So there's always going to be some type of tragedy with young ones, primarily young females, primarily young ones when you're done with the Our Lady for whatever reason. But the point, and then I found out when I was studying about, because when I studied Our Lady of Lourdes, her big day was Tuesday. So I checked into the holiness of Tuesday. Her big day was Thursday, excuse me. So I checked into that Thursday, and I found out, and while I was studying that information, there he was, the gentleman that just recently died, and found out he was a Catholic. So I studied that. So that was amazing. So anybody that hears this video, I'm hoping you're listening. I hope it doesn't have to happen to you before you wake up. Because in some cases, you won't be able to wake up. You won't be coming back to the physical when you think you can defy. There's a reason for traffic jams. There's a reason why you are going to miss important dates. All that's in place for a reason. And if you are going to defy what's supposed to happen, just make sure you're being safe about it. Obstacles come for a reason, even though we don't like them. Bad things come for a reason, even though we don't like it. But you don't have to go home. You don't have to hate the world. You don't have to hate all men or hate all women. You don't have to hate the family. This person is going to have a healing center. Very important. I was just talking to lonerwolf.com. Well, I sent them an email. Lonerwolf.com is out there in Australia. Look them up. Lonerwolf.com. And I believe they're twin flames. One calls himself Soul, like solar or Soul, SOL, and his twin flame calls herself Luna. And I just met them today. As far as finding their website and sending them a message. But I have a lot of connections with Australia. And I'm referencing pretty much lonerwolf.com. They're in Australia. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So we have a message already. So now I want to see something else. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to find something. So I guess we could do it that way. I'm just going to days of the week according to astrology. But like I said, give me a moment. And what was interesting about Bernadette, I think none of the girls backed down, but she did not back down, and they tried to put so much pressure on her to deny what she was experiencing and everything, and she would not back down. And it seemed like almost every time they were going to really hit hard, the Blessed Mother would protect her. And she didn't, like in those days, she just would say, she would just appear. She would never say who she was. And they would ask, she would never tell. And then she would tell, but it would always be at the most pivotal moment. And when she identified herself as the final day, she visited her for 15 days. On the final day, she finally revealed herself as the I am, the Immaculate Conception. And that rocked them, and especially rocked the Catholic bishop, I think he was, or whatever he was. But when she said that, he really was mad. He said, how dare you say I am? You could say I was immaculately conceived, but how dare you say I am? But there's prophecies going on right now as we speak. Kim Clement gave the prophecy. They hated her before, but they'll love us. They'll love her now. And then it was William Tapley out here, Third Ego Books on YouTube. He basically revealed that Kim Clement prophecy, what he meant. So there will come a time when the fulfillment of Proverbs chapter 8 will be. And this is why you're talking about the full moon and the mother, and everything happens for a reason. Like you wouldn't be searching for this information if you didn't go through what you went through. And see, I'm more interested in the people that are waking up. Because the people that want to keep going on the same old, you got to be on five senses, but they want to say words like love and light, and they want to do all the fake stuff. They want to act like they're awake, but they're not. So it's only so far the Great Spirit can use people like that. He's going to use a person like Bernadette. The Great Spirit is going to use a person like Bernadette that's willing to defy the physical world and tap back in the spirit like our ancestors did. And that's when you'll see the great change that is coming. So let me just put it in so we have it, because I want to be able to look right at it. So now you see that the holy day, this sacred holy day of Thursday, is associated with Jupiter. For anybody that knows mythology, Jupiter was always considered the god of the universe, at least in a lot of time periods in culture. A lot of people talk about the Jupiter-Venus connection, and that's kind of like the Mother Mary, baby Jesus connection. But I'm still looking up one more thing. So I guess everybody should listen to this for Monday, the moon day. You can wear gray, white, luminous skin, silver, and pearls. And what I'm trying to tell everybody is, she's already been doing this. Like the Our Lady of Guadalupe, like everything they were wearing was giving a message. What we're beginning to do now, they've been doing it. And even when you read the Bible, it talks about crystals and all that, like around Revelation 21 and Revelation 22. So all this stuff is in the Bible. You're just not being taught these truths because you're in a matrix, and these people don't want you to know these truths, because you'll knock these fake, phony frauds out of power. And then the power of our ancestors will come back when everything was one in the universe. So now for Tuesday, you can wear black, red, sporty camo, blush. I'm getting this information from StarSignStyle.com. See, like, those colors, like those, a few of those colors I named are my colors that I grew up on, where I was born and everything. And they keep showing me. See what I'm saying? So everything is a message. That's why I say you have to learn to follow spirit. Even though everybody else is saying, why doesn't he get to the point? Wednesday is statement t-shirt. Like they said, wear a t-shirt that makes a statement, because that's communication. Print and pattern, yellow, creams, and white. Thursday, we're purple and lavender. Now, why purple and lavender? Because anybody knows purple and lavender are like holy colors, like holy or spiritual, royal spirituality colors. Gee, they said you can wear jeans though. So Jupiter likes jeans, maybe because they both start with J. So maybe I have to apologize to all these rock and rolling Christians with all these jeans and all that, with all the holes in the jeans. Who knows? Spiritual world traveler. World traveler. Yeah, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So this is how I look at it. So Jupiter is like the God form. Then Sagittarius is like the human form, where God is born as Messiah, and as you know, the Messiah just wants to play. He's still the baby, but he still wants to play like, a kid. So I get it, and that's where the genes come in. I get it. Friday, Venus's day, pink, pastel, full lips. They say full lips adornment. But don't forget, Venus's flower is a rose, so don't sleep on that, because Venus's flower is a rose. So she didn't mention it, so I'm mentioning it. Saturday, black, structured dress, dark linen, dark liner, something, dark liner, okay. for Saturday. That's like going out. And I was told that when Rose Namajunas took the world championship, I was told this 2 years in advance that it would be a special time. And the night that Rose Namajunas took the championship from Joanna, if you notice, they had on black. Joe Rogan had on black. Some of the people had on black. And I was told by a friend, without him I wouldn't have known. He said that's the same day that planet Saturn came into human eye view. Like before that day, before that night that Rose Namajunas took the world championship, Saturn was not enough. You couldn't see it with the eye yet. So as above, so below, and we can play this game, but you wanna bring yourself as close back to astrology as you possibly can. And this is why they tell you that your Messiah was born and they couldn't have found that little baby without his star. See, our ancestors knew this stuff. And it can't be fake or bubblegum astrology. You're doing yourself a disservice doing it that way. So they say on Sunday, they say wear your best and dazzle like the sun. All right, that was interesting. Just give me a moment, though. Now this is what's your sign.com. And I believe this is a Avia. I've known Avia. I've known her website for a long time. Not as long as a Terry Nassan or a Dr. Stanley, but I've known Avia kind of long too. So each day of the week is governed by a planet, or yeah, I think that's what I was getting ready to do. We'll see. So now this is Avia. She's saying the same thing I just got finished saying. All right. So let's go back. So on the full moon, it's Pisces. And remember, this full moon is going from this full moon to the next full moon. That's what I'm told. Sometimes it's just the full moon to the next new moon, which we just had a couple of days ago. But this particular full moon is going to the next full moon. Like I said, it's portals opening. So over here, chart on the left, it's family. It's the whole I Moon Quelli. It's the mother looking over her family. Now the good news is it's in the second house of finances. And with 20, it's some type of judgment coming. So it's some type of judgment, which could also be some type of decision being made, some type of and this is a financial house. And the true north node is 8 degrees, or number 8, which again could be Leo or Libra. and it's 26 spiritual. So some type of financial family. But see, the fourth house isn't just family. It's teenage to adult education, land, property, real estate, vehicles and travel, ancestors and family, health, and the Imon Coeli, or the mother and a person's subconscious mind. And you have 20 degrees in 0, 0. So 0, 0 is Uranus energy, which can mean an initiation, a revelation, or something coming out of nowhere. So I will look primarily at your Uranus. Now remember, I just got this information from house number 2, chart on the left. But it's some type of urination, Uranus coming on, as you see right there with family. And that's what she's asking about. And it's even in the fourth house. So your fourth house. So all this is legal. So this could be going on in the earth around you. You may be aware of whatever's going on. Remember, they started around January 10th, but it could have started a week or two before it. This is started around January 10th, 2020. But this is definitely some type of legal situation. Doesn't have to be bad. And it can also be universal law as well. But it's still going on. And you keep seeing that number 8 over here, where you also see Pluto in your fourth house, which is family and home. Your fourth house is family, but you have Virgo there, home. So it's healing, and that's exactly what you're doing. Now keep in mind, like I said, this person, she's working with that. She's working with that healing, and even helping others. And even her Pluto's 20 degrees. So remember, 20 degrees is the resurrection card. Archangel Gabriel blowing a horn. So things that were dead before can raise and rise. And that's what happens, because that's what the knowledge did. See, this is what real astrology does. When people see it, they can understand. Like most people just want to sing the blues. Oh, my daddy beat me. My daddy beat me in 1979. And they go through their whole life. Why me? And why? Like the whole world is suffering. The whole world is suffering. Just like I said, you want to fly above traffic jams and stuff like that. You think you and yours are so important that you could just fly and just, oh no, everybody else is down, but not us. We're going up anyway. So it was poor parenting as far as that decision was concerned. And I hate when I see it. Because sometimes you love too much. Anytime you love something that you destroy it, it's too much. Too much of anything is not a good thing. And when things happen, sometimes they happen for a reason. So you have some type of universal judgment coming. So far, it looks like it's in your favor. But it's the healing of you and yours. Your mother's right there behind it. And in fact, even where your Uranus is, that sun, which is your sun sign of Virgo, it's in the same house. So that sun represents masculine energy. So you have both the sun and the moon helping you. Now, when you see where the sun is at on the chart to the left, it's in Capricorn. It's also at 20 degrees. When we follow your Capricorn, look at that. There's a vertex cross again at 25 degrees. So this is all legal. It just looks to me like universally wise, the universe is shining on you. Some type of universal legal matter has been ruled in your favor. And you will see the developments in your life. And sometimes they come through whatever, any form of favor. Or you might actually see something lawfully come back your way. So if you notice, these charts are similar. Both first houses are Gemini, making the 8th house Capricorn. And remember, Capricorn in the 8th house couldn't be old souls that have lived before. And that's why I said this was very important. This full moon will be a very important full moon. So that's the theme we're getting. Now, a moon that tip of the what I'm calling a triangle is in Pisces. Pisces is ruled by planet Neptune. Now, on a tarot card, Pisces and the moon are connected. And it's all water signs. So when you look on the chart, that's Monday or Moon Day. Now when you look on your chart, Monday or Moon Day, I should say Moon Day, the moon is in Taurus. Now Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is Friday. And that's the day this full moon was, on a Friday. And your moon being, give me a moment. Your moon being 11, looks like 11, 12. Even that's interesting. 11, once again, 11 can either be Libra or Leo or Leo. And 12 again is Neptune energy or the 12th house. So Neptune can deal with deception. So it might be something being revealed in that area. Because what I'm seeing right now is revelation. And usually around full moon you get revelation. But I mean, even without the full moon being revelation, I'm looking at the numerology. I'm looking at the placement of the sun. These are things that were possibly unknown to you or hidden that are being revealed. And I'm thankful that a lot of that is being learned here. But I don't think it solely is confined to here. And this is why I said people have to be awake, because sometimes you have to see this stuff. Otherwise, they'll go right past you, won't even know. And see, when you look over to the 12th house, there goes number 12 again. I'm talking about the chart on the left. And there's Taurus again, 12th house. And then there goes the priestess again with Vesta. So that's definitely showing you things that are hidden, the 12th house to the left. But then you see Uranus is there again. Planet Uranus is there again, helping to bring it about, to reveal it, to give you that reset. And I'm saying that the divine feminine is around you at this time. And she's also working with the energy of your mother. That's why I say sometimes you find strength in movies like that. Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Lourdes, the story of Bernadette, stuff like that. Because she was really restricted They warned her, the authorities warned her if she went to that place to see the Our Lady, that they would arrest her and her parents because she was still a teenager. So they were all scared to go. And she just laid in bed and she would have died. And the only reason why she went again because her father finally grew some testicles. Stopped being afraid. And he had to love his daughter more than he feared what everybody thought. So they went anyway. And that's when it began to get stronger. That's why I say the truth of the matter is, I believe like the universe is always talking, God is always talking, but humans choose to love third dimensional more than the universe. And they choose to love bubblegum astrology more than the real astrology. So every day they tell him, we're not ready for you, we're not ready for you. But then when things don't go their way, they go, oh, why did God do? Why did God take my? Why did God? Why did God? But the fact of the matter is, you didn't watch all the selfish, materialistic. I don't have to wait. I'm more. What I have to do is more important than what you have to do. They didn't watch all that, and then when they finally get an answer based on their own actions, it's never going to be their fault. So that's why I say with this whole journey, it takes a measure of maturity. You want twin flame union, well then both of you guys got to grow up. It's that simple. See, years ago, when you knew you were getting married, you already knew what it was. It was wedlock. That means when you both say I do, that lock goes on. You put rings on, like you put on some type of whatever you call that bracelet. Like you locked in together. That's what the ring signified. Wedlock. Ching ching. So you didn't say I do if you know I do as long as you don't piss me off. I do as long as something higher than you doesn't come along. I do as long as a better opportunity than you doesn't come along. So so it's different, and people already had the mindset of forever until death does your part, and they did it. So you can't say it didn't work. Now I had problems like everything else, but it did work because they did stay together back then. But now they don't have to because the world has changed so much. So a lot of stuff is coming up. A lot of revelations are coming up, and even energies are being transmitted to you even now. And again, the more you learn this, and the more you seek these mysteries, the more answers you'll get. Like in Bernadette's case, she just decided to believe. So she didn't care anymore what anybody said. And they were calling her stupid and everything. But it was funny because they were saying, you're the most stupid person in the school. Why would the Our Lady talk to you, of all people? But again, for anybody that's on that spiritual walk, he always says, I choose the foolish ones of the world so that I can put the enlightened ones to shame, the so-called smart ones to shame. And it was funny how they tried to question her. She would always outsmart them. And she's supposed to be stupid, but every time they tried to question her, she would respond in such a way that they would shut up. So she probably wasn't stupid anyway. It's just something they were saying. And that's why I said sometimes you have to learn patience. So since they are dealing with Taurus in the second house, we are dealing with finances. And since her Taurus is in the, well, both Tauruses are in the 12th house. So it's something coming up, some type of revelation regarding these areas. She may already be aware of it. She may already know what it is. But it definitely is coming up. If it hasn't already. Because remember, the full moon was January 10th. But the purpose of this was to let you know who did it. Mama did it. Which mama? The feminine mama of the universe from which everything came. That's why she identified herself as the I am Immaculate Conception. They just they just weren't ready to accept her saying I am because they knew who I am is. And also any situations with any situation with trying to build a center or anything like that, you're seeing the universe letting you know they're there, giving the okay. But people have to realize a lot of times spirit or God has given somebody a calling, but they give a lot of challenges with it. Just like I told you, she went through. That's why I said you just got to come without outside of yourself. I mean, I actually literally watched that whole movie, and it was very touching. Couple of times I could have cried. It was very touching. But that's when they knew how to make movies. That movie's from like the 1940s. Very touching. Even the little things, because I like when it's done right. You know, being a Leo, we're very with the drama, theater, very creative. But they could you could really tell that they really chose those characters, those actors to play those characters, actors and actresses to play those characters, and just little things that if you're looking, you'll see it, but if you're not looking, you won't notice it. Like in one scene, she was talking to, I forget if it was one, but two people were in a room talking, and they led you to believe that it was just those two in a room talking, and then I think it was the eye doctor or something. So then when he turned to look at the board, the eye board, because the guy had a miracle, so I could see, and the doctor didn't believe him. It's funny. I'm not even gonna tell you. It was hilariously funny. If you watched it, you just bust out laughing. It was so funny. And then, but the funny thing was, you thought it was just two people in a room talking, a doctor, an eye doctor, and the patient. And then the people in the waiting room had opened the door back up, so they were all standing looking. So he had to walk up to the door and close the door in their face as to say, "Stop being so nosy." It was just hilariously funny. And it was French. So I'm a big fan of Inspector Clouseau, Peter Sellers, and they showed you where he got the whole idea from, because because that's what Clouseau started off as, a police officer, a French police officer, and they actually had a guy to look. But this was long before Inspector Clouseau. That's where they got the idea from. So I saw that was hilariously, because God does have a sense of humor. And then guess what? And then Vincent Price was in the movie. Does anybody know who Vincent Price is? Probably you old timers do. But Michael Jackson, Thriller, that's Vincent Price's voice. And anybody that was a big fan of Batman back in the 1960s, Vincent Price played the character on Batman. If I'm not mistaken, I think he did. I know Milton Berle did. Lily Lilac. Lily Lilac. There's your Lilith. There's your Lilith. So what you're being told, now whether you're following the advice or not, just tap back into the divine feminine, and you'll see your victories, just like Bernadette did. Whatever struggles or challenges are there, and this is definitely a family thing for you. They will bring healing for you. That's why I say you're being called to be like a modern day Bernadette for what you're about to do, what you're planning on doing, helping others. Now, when you look at in Libra, yep. So you might have some type of new love going on, or some type of. It could be a business partner, but it could also be a love. But it's both in the fifth house. Because both these charts have Juno in the 5th house. And you keep saying that 19. So that 19 is the sun, which means a good indication. Both your 5th houses have 19 in it. But it's not going to... the only dilemma is, because there's always going to be a dilemma, get used to it, people. The only dilemma is Juno is serious, but Juno in the 5th house can only it's not serious. Like the 5th house is about play. The 5th house is you guys might date, it might be passionate, but it's not really clicking into seriousness. So we'll take a look at that because that's important. That's relationship. See, I get mad because I want Juno in the 5th house. I don't want Juno throughout the houses, and of course, Mr. Leonard will talk about it. Just give me a moment. All right, we're gonna give Mr. Leonard a shot at it, and of course, I can't play the video for copyright reasons, but I can put this on pause and listen to it. Just give me a moment because once again, all right, we got it. Oh, now according to the TV account, they all assemble for a miracle because one priest told Bernadette, in order for me to believe you, you go tell the Our Lady that she has to do this miracle. So everybody came for that miracle. Now I was doing other things, so I don't know. I really don't. The miracle was supposed to be a rosebud was supposed to bud, and it was in season. Now, when the Our Lady showed up, they were all waiting, and she showed up, but she told the female to go over there to the spring and clean your face or whatever. So she started to run to the river, the water that was there, and the Our Lady said no. And the communication is usually always telepathic, and the people always go into a like a zombie state. Because I study all this stuff. That's all I do. So she's telling her no. So she told her to go over there and eat. Really, you could call it what you want. It's like grass or whatever. And so later on, she had to go before people that represented the Catholic Church, and they said, "Why would the Our Lady tell you to eat grass?" So she looked at them and said, "You eat vegetables, don't you?" And then they shut up. But there was a reason why she did that. You'll find out. I'm gonna tell you now. So after she's sitting there eating grass, all the people are looking at her like, "Why is she eating grass?" Because they already thought, like, some of them believed her. Because remember, this is a little girl. This is a little girl they're talking to. She's only 14. But remember, if you know your history, the blessed Mother Jesus was a teenage girl. So they're looking at her because she's sitting there eating that grass. So then she's still asking her Blessed Mother, "Where's the water?" So the Blessed Mother was like, "It's right there." So she starts digging in the dirt looking for the water. And because she was told to wash her face with the water, she started putting the dirt on her face. And at that point, everybody said she was crazy. And all the people that were criticizing her from day one were saying, see what she is, she's crazy. You listen to this young girl, she's delusional. So they all said she was crazy. So they told the people to disperse, and her family was humiliated, and they were pulling her away, and she didn't want to leave, so she looked crazy because she didn't want to leave. And they're like, you're putting dirt on your face, and there's no water, and like as far as I could tell, no Rose Buddy. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, maybe I missed something, but no Rose Buddy. And and so as they left, the only people that stood there was a guy she was in love with. Because he was there, he found her because she went missing, and she passed out, and nobody knew where she was at, but he knew she went up there, so he went looking for her and found her. She's just laying there. That was early in the movie, so he waited because he didn't want to believe she was wrong because he was in love with her. So he was so deep in a thought that he felt something on his hand because everybody else was leaving. They left. He was the only one that stayed. It was something on his hand, but he was so deep in thought that he just wiped it off and went back into thought. And then it became more persistent. Then he looked up and it was water. So right where she was digging, that's what. Now these are real documented miracles. So then he started calling everybody back, and not only that, the water was healing. Anybody got water healed, a dead baby was put in the water, came back to life. And if you doubt anything, you got to do. There's another one. You can go right to YouTube because all this is video. So you can't say that's a fraud. Let me just find it real quick. I think it's Mary of Damascus. Series of the Miracle of Damascus. The Miracle of Damascus. Her name is Myrna, not Mary, but it's the Miracle of Damascus. And as far as I know, she came all the way from Damascus, Syria, and came to Los Angeles, California, and she was still healing people. So if you want to, so that's documented, and you can see it being done. It's nothing fake. That's why I say people stay so deep into third dimensional that they act like there's not other dimensions, and then you're mad at God or you're mad at somebody, but you choose to be. You choose bubblegum astrology. You choose to do it your way and not the correct way. So so it was so that in that case it was actually love because they thought she was a fraud, but because that guy believed in her so much he waited, and it was he that brought the people back and said, "There's water, there's water." So I didn't see any roses bud, but I did see the miracle of the water, and I don't know if the roses did, but I didn't see it in the movie. But I was multitasking. But as far as the water was a way better miracle because people were getting healed from it. They were bringing it home, and that location is still a #1 tourist attraction. So they made a lot of money because of that situation, and that's the first thing because people say, "Oh, the whole thing's fake just to make money." Well, then if you don't believe it, just go watch the Myrna of Damascus. That's another miracle, an association with the Blessed Mother. Just facts. I'm not Catholic because I know a lot of people. I'm not Catholic. I'm a Bible. Well, I'm more than a Bible student. I'm a researcher. I'm a lot of things. I just deal in facts. Like, I wouldn't come out here, but see, I would probably make way more money if I did. This is how stupid people are, and they're mad at me. They're mad at me. That's what makes me laugh. I could come out. I would if I just came out here talking crazy. I'd probably have money out the Kasuzu because I know how it was when I first came out here. But I come out here and deal with facts and show you so that you can see it if you just slow down. All right, I'm kind of listening to him. It's a 7 minute 35 second video. I'm already at 3 minutes 25. I did try to go directly to YouTube. I was looking at it from the video search. There's Yahoo video search. All right, give me a moment. I was waiting for this browser to come back. It just came back, so just give me a moment. All right, so I'm gonna use the word dilemma because what happens is if this was Juno and Libra, this would be a serious relationship. But Juno in the fifth house with Libra, it takes on a different meaning. Totally different meaning. Now, Libra in the fifth house by itself, well, plus we're still dealing with that zero. See, this is almost coming out of nowhere almost. It's almost like finding out somebody's interested in you or finding out you're kind of interested in somebody, whereas before it was somewhat undetected. But after this full moon or whatever, it happens. And I try to get people to accept astrology as it really is, because it doesn't have to be right at the full moon. Could have been a week before or something. But the fact that you're talking about it proves my point. So it kind of comes out of nowhere with that 0, 0. And 0, 0 is like the beginning stage, the initiation. And you still see because I'm going to do this now, but I would still say it might be even wise to go back to when I first did your chart, what I said about this. But we're still going to do it now. So it's like an initial stage. So because it's an initial stage, it's 0 degrees. 0 degree. I would say Libra in the see, just Libra in the fifth house is just really somebody you're having fun with. And Libra can be business too, or a business partner. But it still was based on fun. That's the fifth house. Could also be either children or childlike ways. And remember, children can also imply initial stages of something. So this is fun, creativity. So, but it's the implication is it is like just say you were building something, but this would have something pretty much to do with the less serious side of it. Cause like some companies say, okay, we're gonna build a gym, or we're gonna build a room that when people are on their break or whatever, they can come up in here, or to help them release stress. Let's build this room, and they can come in this room. So it would be something like that. Anything that's fun and creative, or entertainment wise. But because it's Libra, it's still law. So whatever I said earlier about law and 25. So again, this could be something a legal situation with a Libra or a law. And really, universally speaking, anybody who you are connected to in certain ways, they become some type of partner. In John chapter 4, Jesus told a woman, go get your husband. And she said, I don't have a husband. He said, I know you don't have a husband because you've had 5 husbands, and the man you're with now is not your husband. So then she said, well, I perceive you're a prophet. But the point being made is he linked that up. He gave her a universal thing. Like you've only told, not me saying it, but universally wise. He's saying to her, universally wise, you're only supposed to have one husband. You've had 5. And now you're with a man now. He's not even your husband. So he that whole dialect between the two, he continued to let her know about her lifestyle. And she kept trying her best to duck his questions. So he finally put her in a situation where she couldn't duck it no more. And once she admitted it, then he began to tell her revelations. See, that's why I said it's important to learn how the spirit works. Because if you learn how the spirit works, then you won't take yourself through all this stuff. Because humans are always going to try to blame somebody else. This is what they do. Been doing it since the Garden of Eden. They're always going to try to blame some other circumstance. But you can't get right with spirit until you start to just work through it. I mean, you don't have to take blame for anything you're not guilty of. But you don't have to be a dereliction of duty. And see, in the 5th house, the point I'm trying to make is in the 5th house, if you do have any type of couple, it's not based on real commitment. And so your Juno at 0 degree, it's almost like either you or the other person would kind of wish for commitment, but it may not be attained. But with Mercury, it looks like the communication is good. And with good fortune, that circle with the X in it, it's a fortunate thing, maybe even financially fortunate. But it just looks like there won't be like that serious connection that Libra and Juno and Libra would bring. And some people were saying, "Oh no, this is a couple that they just gotta have fun. It's gotta have fun," and they were bringing children in, or this might be a situation where the children are playing. They're taking up too much of your time. Now remember what I told you. You got Mercury there. Remember I told you that children sometime on the natal chart are not just children. Like if you're in any form of education, children can be like the less mature people, adults, the less educated adults. So you got to keep that in mind too. And you say, well, would that apply to the 5th house being not just children, less educated adults and stuff like that? It could, but this is the 5th house, so it would have to be something fun in order for that to be correct. It would have to be fun or less stressful. But then when we go to your 7th house, where because Libra rules your 7th house, you have Sagittarius there. But as you can see, now you see Taurus pointing there as well. Because remember, Sagittarius is like a higher knowledge, more mature knowledge. Sagittarius rules the 9th house of belief systems, but also schools and higher education. And you still see Taurus shining. You see that green? And that green is the money, because I sent her a Raphael, and Raphael is green. Because I was studying one night. Well, actually, Archangel Uriel came to me as far as what I'm just studying, and he was showing me a lot of stuff, and he was showing me Raphael, and he said it. It was my study of Uriel, and Uriel said, well, if you're building any type of center to help people heal, He said, get Raphael involved because Raphael is a healing angel, and his color is green. So you see this person who I said is your mother, and Taurus is money, ruler of the second house, sending money in there. So what it may be telling you, whether you know this person or not, but this person in your fifth house may also be the person that becomes a partner with you that helps you in your seventh house. And your Mars is even got to 22. Your Mars is even got to 22, which is the twin flame number. Now, your Scorpio is the eighth house. Your Scorpio rules the eighth house. And you see the number 22 again. And that's your sixth house of home. So, this may be that person. And a lot of times what you're seeing is higher stuff, higher self going on. And this is why humans get frustrated. Because they like to pay. See, they don't have to pay. Like I had the patience. I'll sit here and study the numbers, and it'll all make sense to me. But somebody else will just be. They don't want to. They want to see it and touch it and taste it. They don't want to study the numbers. They want to see it and touch it and taste it. But they're not asking themselves, why do you keep seeing 22 on your chart in these significant areas? Because this is the person that's coming. That's going to be kind of like a partner with you, which may grow into a relationship that's going to help you with your agenda if you stick to it. See my point? Because a lot of people don't stick to it. They get frustrated or something comes up or what something else happens and they give up and then they blame spirit. They, oh, that astrologer didn't know what he was talking about. And why did God? Yeah, because that's what I didn't tell you. See, everything happens for a reason. So let me tell you what really happened when they caught her. They took Bernadette and they dragged her off of that little cliff or whatever by a cave that the Our Lady was appearing before. She was putting dirt all in her face and eating grass, and they pulled her out of there. So she's a nut job. We shouldn't have listened to her. Why would we listen to a little kid anyway? And so he really believed in her. So he waited. But I didn't tell you about the friend. His friend started saying to him, I told you, don't believe in this lady. Don't believe in the Virgin Mary. He said, what? He said, you believe, and nothing ever happens. He said, I was a sculptor. He said, I used to sculpture stone. He said, I was sculpturing a sculpture for Our Lady. And he said, a piece of the stone cut off and hit me in my eye. And he said, now I can't see out this eye, and now I can't sculpture. He said, why would she do something like that to me? He said, why would she do something like that to me? He said, I was trying to do something to make it beautiful for her, and this is how she repays me. So you had the one guy sitting there who really is in love with Bernadette, and he's just sitting there because he can't believe what just happened. And you got the other guy, his friend, because they're both sculptors. His friend is like really saying, you don't believe in this stuff. None of this stuff is real. So then, when that water came down, and the guy realized that the miracle did come with the water, so he's lost his mind. He's running and telling the people to come back. There is water where she was digging. See, in any spiritual stuff, they always say you have to put faith sometimes. I know a whole lot of people that claim stuff that wasn't theirs, and it became theirs. And I'm not talking about thievery. I'll give you one quick example. Preacher didn't have a house. He said he tried to get a house on his own. It never worked out. He said he got hurt and was laid out. He couldn't work. He said that's when he got a house. He said he was driving around one day. And he saw a house that was for sale. But the grass was kind of high. And it didn't look like, looked like it was a house somebody forgot about. So he said he began to take care of that yard. He began to cut the grass. He began to trim the hedges. And he began to claim that as his. He said one day when he's out there taking care of his yard, notice I said his yard. Even though he ain't got no paperwork. He's just doing it. He said a car pulled up. Said the window came down and a woman said to him, excuse me, what are you doing? And he said, I'm cutting my grass. She said, your grass. And this is a black woman. She said, your grass. He said, yeah, this is my house. He said, your house. She said, well, let me ask you a question. If this is your house, how come I got all the paperwork on it? If it's your house. And he said, well, God told me this is my house, and blah, blah, blah. He said, so they began to talk, because the house was for sale. So they began to talk, and worked out a deal, and it became his house. And when I saw that man, well, I went, it was called Deliverance Temple. And he came, and he was a speaker. And when he came in, he was just giving money to us. And we was like a low, like where I was, it was like a low income. He was giving money to us. So what we would always do, my pastor, it wasn't me, my pastor, at the end of a speaker's talk, they would, give whatever money they could get to give it to him for coming. And he just gave it right back. So there's a difference between people that come out of third dimension and see these things happen. And then you got the average person that's not going to do it. They're just going to talk a good game and blah, blah, blah. And they're always going to blame somebody else for why their life isn't where it needs to be. So that guy that was talking about the Blessed Mother, how the stone or whatever ruined his eye. When he saw that water coming out, he ran over there where the girl was digging when it wasn't no water. It was just dirt. He ran over there and he just put his whole face in it and started putting his face in it. And that's when he ran to the doctor's office and said, it's a miracle, I'm healed. So I just gave y'all locations you can go to right now and look it up. So all this stuff is real, but it all depends on where you're at. And when you deal with people that have walked and seen this, they're not going to have patience for somebody who lacks faith. So that's why I said, this is when I give you your natal chart, this is your plan. This is from the universe. It is your plan. But it's up to you to fall in line with real astrology and do what you're supposed to get that twin and get that and this and that. So it looks like your 22, your Neptune is. Your 22 is with the 16. So that's Mars again. So that's what I'm telling you. It's the same person. It's the same energy. You keep seeing Mars energy, which is 16, and 22, which is twin flame. You see that in your 6th and 7th house. And 7th is a relationship. And Sagittarius represents like the second. It represents one or the other. When two people break up but they come back together, and it's more together, that's Sagittarius. And also, it represents more like a more long term, like they're more mature, so then they're not gonna be bickering, arguing, and breaking up so easy like they did the first time. And that's probably Gemini energy that caused that, or third house energy. So that's why I say, on a reading like this, you will go back to whatever I said on your chart, because the universe is taking you back there now. And again, it's called planting seeds, because sometimes it's just to wake up your consciousness, because once the universe puts it in your consciousness, it can start to bring it about. Because it's actually your consciousness that kind of brings it about. So the universe has to get you to think about it, work on it, and stuff like that. So your best, it goes right back to the 12th house. See that 12? But 10 degrees is the same thing as the good fortune. That's a Jupiter card. Wheel of Fortune. So again, the person is there, rather in your subconscious mind or in your physical mind. But it's about, but again, like I said with twin flames, a lot of stuff in your natal chart for your twin. If your twin doesn't come to you, or you don't come to your twin, or you two don't come together, then a lot of your stuff in your twin flame stuff that's supposed to happen won't. Because just like I said, many times, that's not the first time Our Lady appeared to a female and they wouldn't let her go back to the site. Because if you listen to the Our Lady of Lourdes account and you listen to Our Lady of Fatima account, it's quite similar. Both involve a teenage girl, and both the people didn't believe. And the one in Fatima, the police officer, I think he smacked her in her face. Told her stop. I think it was a police officer, man. I'm pretty sure it was a police officer though, but it might have been like the priest. Just smacked that little girl in her face and told her to stop lying. And that's why I say, well, if somebody says, oh, well, I don't know what he's talking about, I don't know why he's saying this. But the bottom line is, it's on your chart for now. So I just gave you a ratio of time. I'd say anywhere from the beginning of January 2020 to the end of February 2020. But you have to see it because sometimes, like I said, sometimes you're working with somebody that could be a perfect match, but for whatever reason you don't think about it, or they don't think about it, or both of y'all think about it but don't tell each other. I mean, it's just stuff people do, or somebody plays hard to get when, which makes it, frustrates it. Because like I said, playing hard to get is good when you're dealing with somebody who has that drive. That's, doesn't mind playing the game. But if somebody's been hurt before and stuff like that, they're not gonna play. They just don't want to play the game because they feel like they've done it many times before and it didn't work back then. So how is it gonna work now? So they don't want it, or they do want it, but they just don't want the drama. So you got to know these things. That's why I said I repeat a lot of the same stuff because I know how it is in the real world. I know how it is, and my goal is to try to wake people up to get beyond what causes them to fall or fail. So now if you notice in your sixth house, which is home or healing, is Scorpio. Scorpio rules your eighth house. It's Capricorn. Why? Because that's the business. And once again, is your vertex cross again at 25 degrees. So this person, this is what I'm saying. This person that you will be doing these things with, they're kind of like your lawful partner, because you see the 25 again, and that's the vertex cross, and it may have a spiritual connotation to it or a metaphysical one. Because again, when I'm talking about Our Lady, that's metaphysical. That's the mysteries of the kingdom that Jesus talks about in Matthew 13. You got the kingdom, but then you got the mysteries of the kingdom. So that's going to be your mysticism, the esoteric, the metaphysical stuff. This is why, like I said, crystals are all in your Bible. All you got to do, I think, is either Revelation 21, Revelation 22. So if God is coming and He's got crystals, why don't you? Oh, don't use crystals because and I mean, you do got to know what you're doing because there's portals being open and it is dangerous. You just got to know what you're doing. But I'm sure if crystals were evil, like even when the high priest wore an ephod, and on that ephod on his chest, and they used that for like divination. This is in the Bible, and the different colors would light up when they ask God a question and stuff. So you can't say it's not there in the Bible. You just got to know what you're doing, and don't listen to the people that run this matrix because they don't want you to get your power back. That's how they took your power from you, to killed all your ancestors and gave you this crap. And this is why people don't believe. And then when you go to your 10th house, that's your occupation, but it's spiritual, Pisces. Oh, and going back to your 6th house, Neptune and Scorpio can also be very like a mystical. I just got finished saying mysteries of the kingdom, mystical. So either you or the person or both of you will have that mystical appeal as well. Now, when you look at this chart, you still see the 22, 22. See those 22s? So even you see it here. The universe is taking like that twin flame phenomenon, 11, 11, or 22, and bringing them into the business, but in the 8th house. And even Michelle Knight, who's one of the best astrologers in the world, even she said right now this is all about past lives, soul connections, soul contracts. That's when you see that number 25. That's the law. Libra, the law. Soul contracts. So it's going. So you see it's going on in the universe. Now, whether it comes in your life or not, that's totally up to you. And see, your true north node is very karmic, 28 degrees again. So I'm going to look up 28 degrees Saturn. Just give me a moment, because like I said, I guess a month or two ago, they upgraded my computer. Ever since they did that, now when I use my search engine, it's not as easy as it used to be. I know, because every computer has like its own search engine. I'm not even talking about online. All right, let me see. Degrees. Now, just give me a moment. You only want 25 degrees. You want 28 degrees Aries. Just give me a moment. I don't know if this is it or not. Then you want 28 degrees Saturn. Hey, what am I doing? Give me a moment. Yeah, it is. It's 28 degrees Aries. Okay. "28 degrees Aries. A large audience confronts a performer who disappointed its expectations." But again, if you just heard what I said, it's kind of funny they say that, and that might be like a kind of a heads up for you, because really she had a large audience and they were disappointed, but that's because they didn't believe. And plus, like I said, it was meant to happen, because in their disappointment, they all walked away. And the moment they went away and walked away, then the water came. And the only person that benefited from the water was what you would call was her partner, the guy that was in love with her, because he's the one that felt the water and saw the water and said, "Hey, everybody, come back! It really is a spring." So, point being made, anything that happens for a reason, and you have to keep the faith no matter what. And that's why if you see me, I've been quite consistent. Plus, I've been doing stuff like I've been doing for decades. Like, if you understand, like, I'm in situations where if I wasn't me, like if I got nervous and stuff like that or whatever, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm in. Like, I put a lot of trust in God, and because of that, I'm in places that technically speaking I shouldn't be there, but I put my trust in God, because I realize I can only be in one place at one time. I'm not God. I'm not omnipresent. I'm in a body right now. So you have to learn how to pray. You have to trust God. And that's a big flaw when people think that they're bigger than God. That's what when you think you're bigger than God, that's when you think you can take a machine and put it up in a storm and think, even though everybody else is down, but you think you can go up and everything's going. It doesn't work that way. You're not bigger than God. You're not bigger than nature. You're not bigger than a freaking storm. Those are the times when you should be humble, appreciate things like life, appreciate things like family. Be glad that we're together right now. Everything doesn't have to be at some type of event all the time. That's why there's cancellations and stuff like that. They're supposed to teach you to be humble. That's why there's traffic jams. Supposed to teach you to be humble. Because you will literally kill somebody. Because I'm telling you right now, whenever you're in a rush, you can expect somebody's going to cut you off and then go slow. And you're saying, why did they cut me off if they're going to go slow? And then when you want to go slow, guess who's going to be behind you? Mr. Loudmouth, tooting the horn, cursing you out, and all kind of crazy stuff. So these are all the things that this creation tends to do. This program that we're in tends to do. And the only way you're going to learn how to deal with it is to learn how to breathe, let go, and let God. And ironically, that's what Colby had to learn when I went to the Catholic thing today about Thursday, the holiness of Thursday. And there he was, right there. Said, "Oh, and I didn't know he was a Catholic till today." And that's what he had to learn when he got accused of doing something in 2003. He said it was a Catholic priest that taught him how to let go. She's saying you did one thing to her. You're saying that's not how it went down. The priest said it's time for you to let it go. If you didn't really do it and you got a lawyer, he said, don't worry about it. Let God take over. And then Colby said that's when he let that go. And there's a reason why things happen, because I wasn't expecting to see that when I'm studying religion. I'm studying spirituality. I'm studying why is Thursday a holy day. I'm studying why did Our Lady of Lourdes usually come on Thursdays. Why? That's what I'm studying. But there he is right there again. So everything happens for a reason. So your 28 degrees Aries is telling you don't let people's lack of faith in you stop you. Now the number 9 is their Hermit card, personal light. But even though it's a Hermit card with personal light, it looks like it's 9. That's either 9, I don't know, 919 or 949. Give me a moment. If it's 919, that's still light. That's the sunlight. Give me a moment. Yeah, I'm not sure. You might have a clear, well, because I blew it up. Basically, I'm not sure it's either 919 or 949. I'm just not sure, and I don't want to say which one if I'm not sure. And also with your true north node, that little horseshoe is your life purpose. And notice how yours doesn't have the aura. Every true north node is supposed to have an aura. If the person doesn't have an aura, that's how you know it's just a dysfunctional situation. So you notice how your true north node has that 28 degrees, and then 5. So your 5 house is a lot of very karmic. That's why you see Saturn in the same house with Aries in your north node. Very karmic. And we already explained what the Aries was, and it's definitely abusive. We said it was masculine. I remember that. But it's in your 5th house. You're going to get some type of karma, good karma, because of that. All right. So they're telling you some of the people who you're trying to help might turn on you. But I get that all the time. I always get it. And I have clients. I have clients of mine that I showed, and now they have their own clients because of me. But they tell me the same thing. I was trying to help this person. I said, get used to it. That's why I say you got to have your rules and things up front. Because you have a lot of people that are going through stuff. And like I said, it's just human nature to blame somebody else. Oh, yeah. Like, I'm responsible for all the shit you've been through. I just met you like 2 days ago. How the heck are you blaming me for some stuff that happened 20 years ago? Like, I'm sorry you're hurting, but I'm trying to help. Then they say the music of the spheres is 28 degrees Aries. So you may do music healing and stuff like that, or vibrational healing and chimes and things like that. All right. So here's the deal. So we talked a little bit about your true north node. We talked a little bit about your Aries. We talked about the moon in Taurus. And we're telling you that the divine feminine, which does include your mother, is there helping. And they're going to make sure you have the finances you are. And like I said, don't sleep on Archangel Raphael. I mean, because this is what Doreen Virtue said. If you access the Archangel Raphael, he will show up in a very fast green streak of light. And that definitely happened to me. Definitely. And then he hovered to make sure I saw him, but he just comes past you. He comes past you like unbelievably fast green streak of light. Now also a lot of people actually see Gabriel. Now this is on YouTube. You can find these videos on YouTube because it's a few people that have access to see Gabriel. They don't know each other, but guess what? They all describe him as the same way. When they see him, they describe him as the same way. All this stuff is on YouTube. So basically, this was a good. Oh, look where your Venus is. Your Venus is in Leo, and then see that money. That person got money, because every time I see your fifth house or Leo, all I see is good fortune and money, or it's going to bring you money. And also, your Pallas, that little diamond asteroid, 19 degrees, C22 again, twin flames. That's your soulmate or your twin soul. Once again, all together, so it's Leo. Definitely Leo energy. Definitely say Leo energy. Could have Libra as well. But either a fire sign like Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, and definitely that Libra connection. And you got some type of Mercury, Gemini stuff going on too. Maybe Virgo. But as far as that twin flame I just told you, fire signs or Libra, something like that. So that helps you to know what to look for and be on a lookout for stuff. So we're gonna go back to your Leo. Did I close this? Let me see if I close it. Nope. So we're gonna go to Leo. And ironic, Leo's in your third house of young ones and stuff like that. But the third house and the fifth house are the most creative. So I'd say it'll be a creativity that also helps you bring prosperity when you work with this partner. So we're gonna do 19 degrees Leo. See what it says. A houseboat party, and again, they're trying to tell you to just because he's gonna be real fun anyway. So people are gonna like you guys and really support you guys. Because like I said, most people they love that to have fun. And if you can find a fun way to heal, that's prosperity as well. And you'll have more people getting healed because they're all gonna support you. Uh, 19 to 20 degrees Leo is a Zuni. Indians perform a ritual to the sun. So it looks like they're encouraging you to also have some form of solar healing or sun healing. Now we'll do 25 degrees Leo. Once again, see, that's the law. That's the law. So you and this person are written in the universe. It's law for you two to be together or get back together or whatever the case might be. A large camel is seen crossing a vast and forbidden desert. After the heavy storm, a rainbow. So that's interesting. That's interesting. After the storm, a rainbow. Almost like some type of reunification. Possibly. Like I said, I don't want to dwell on this because I did it first time. But a lot of times when you've been through some stuff, the main thing you should be concerned with is your protection. But a lot of people think you can't get back together and stuff like that. That's an individual choice, but the main thing you should be worrying about is your safety. That's even more important than forgiveness. Because what good is forgiving somebody that kill you anyway? You know. So you gotta worry about your safety, but maybe somebody can get the help they need. Because everyone, I don't think you can be on this planet and not see or experience some type of pain or suffering. I really don't. And even if you don't, you're still aware of it if you're watching TV or talking to people. That kind of comes with the territory of being here on this planet. All right. So that's 25 degrees Leo. And that's your Jupiter. Now it's 27 degrees Leo. And I believe that's 27 degrees and 44 because that's also healing. So that's like healing with love. 20, it looks like 27 degrees, 44 minutes for Venus and Leo in the third house. So that's like communicating. Maybe that helps healing, whatever. Communication helps healing, things of that nature. 27 degrees Leo, the luminance of dawn in the eastern sky. And the eastern sky is usually considered spiritual because that's where the temple was built and things like that. 27 degrees Leo, many little birds on a limb of a big tree. Now, why would they say that? Many little birds. And remember, this is the third house, like little children, little stuff. Even the sixth house is little animals and stuff. So many little birds on a limb of a big tree. Why? Because that's who you're healing. Like you and that person will represent the big tree that's actually healing these people. So what they're telling you, the universe is telling you, is we're getting you ready. We hope that you're spiritually and emotionally and metaphysically and all those other ways getting yourself ready. But the universe is saying it's ready. Like I said, the truth of the matter is people can get mad all they want. You can blame the universe all you want. But I know for a fact the universe brought me and my twin together. And there was ample possibilities for she and I to connect. But she was on some other stuff. That's just facts. Because it was a whole lot of people when I started that job. I didn't really talk to a lot of people. But there were people I began to talk to as time went by. But she chose to bring a war. Just like I see a lot of Mars and Aries on your chart. She was like that. She chose to bring a war. So you can't blame the universe when you're going all men are dogs, or I can't find a good man, or the man I had, I thought he was going to do the right thing, but he didn't. Now I got all these kids and he don't want to pay. But you made choices. That's why I said stop blaming externally. Start holding yourself accountable. Like I said, if I'm a female, now I just got to say this, you can get mad all you want. If I'm a female and the universe keeps bringing a guy around me, I'm going to try to find something out about him. Is he sane? Is he not a crazy person? Does he give real answers? Not just, because that's how you're dealing with suspicious types, because they won't give you no real answer. You won't really know nothing about them. None. So do they give real answers and stuff? Like I'm gonna kind of look into, because I'm asking myself, why does the universe keep bringing this person around me? It's got to be some type of reason. And that's how you begin to get past the foolish tendencies to keep people in separation. You got to become more proactive, because that's how the universe acts. In almost every case, even with Messiah, most of the time the people had to come to him, unless they were like bedridden or dead. Then he went to them. But in most cases, he told the people to come to me. So you got to take some type of action, is what I'm trying to tell you, because everything's not going to come to you. You have the natal chart, get it done the correct way, then you got to act accordingly if you want to see things change. And then there's still going to be obstacles, so you still can't tap out and give up easily. All right, this does conclude this natal chart reading with the full moon analysis for January 2020. Now keep in mind, there's a lot of sales going on, a lot of opportunities. Make sure you have the most recent services offered and priceless. Also, you can look right on the channel, Archangel, Revelations and Prophecies. 444 seen and heard on YouTube for all of whatever opportunities we got, whatever sales we got. And you can also ask for the services offered and priceless.